It might be looking like I'm wearing the same shirt, but it's not. This is a new shirt I put on this morning. Hello, Prophet Robert Foster. We're here with chapter 17 of the book of Revelation. This will be the last chapter for this month. We will have more in April. So here we go. And there, excuse me, and there came out of, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee judgments of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth has committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth has been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon the scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed in a purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones, pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs for Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore did thou marvel? I will tell ye the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carried her, which had the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest, and is not, shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. And here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. There are two various interpretations of the identity of the harlot riding the beast. One interpretation which the reformers taught was that the woman is a symbolic of the Roman Catholic Church, whose leaders had conducted a inquisition and had better fought the Reformation. Some of the points are as follows. The woman is clothed in purple and scarlet colors worn by the cardinals and bishops. The precious stones of pearls were taught to represent wealth that the church had acquired through donations by fathers and pilgrims over the centuries. The gold cup was said to be the symbol of the Pope's communion cup, and it was noted that Roman church throughout Europe had countless gold and silver chalices in their treasures. The blood of the saints and those who killed Christ is a clear reference to the Roman Empire, including Roman emperors who martyred the righteousness, the Roman soldiers who oversaw Christ's crucifixion. The 7 hills referenced were common knowledge, as the city of Rome is built on 7 hills. Rome was the politic and economic headquarters of the empire in John's day, and since the 6th century, the Roman Church has influenced and controlled the rise and falls of kings and leaders throughout Europe. The statement that this woman is a religious symbol and believed she could control the souls of man was a strong Reformation argument, as the doctrine of purgatory was one of the complex doctrines that the Reformers resisted. This teaching basically taught that if a person died in unrepentant sin, he or she endured a time of purifying fire, purgatory. The realities of the deceased could pray that person out of purgatory through the prayers of the priest, helping him or her gain God's forgiveness and access to heaven. There is no doubt that this woman is a symbol of Rome, as John was told she was the city which reigned over the kings of the earth, whose in John's day were the emperors and Romans of the Emperor Rome Empire, Imperial Rome Empire. The angel, okay, before we, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and read this. Then, okay. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna read this. The angel called the city as a religious system the mystery Babylon. Here, John is reminded that the Babylonian system did not exist at that time, but will rise again due to the influence of power of demonic spirit coming out of the bottomless pit. This spirit inspires the Antichrist to be destructive. See Daniel chapter 11, verse 44, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. But its identity appears to be king angel over the bottomless pit in chapter 9, the Abaddon of Harlem. See Revelation chapter 9, verse 11. The Antichrist will reform and raise up a dead ancient empire, making his kingdom the most devastating warring empire in world history. See Revelation chapter 11, verse 7, chapter 12, verse 7, and verse 17, chapter 13, verse 4 and 7. Okay, the two chapters are Mystery Babylon, chapter 17 and 18. Chapter Revelation chapter 17 and chapter 18, we will be talking about that next month. Both deals with Babylon and have been the center of the theological debate for centuries. Scholars point out that there are two distinct chapters involving Mystery Babylon. Chapter 17 describes Babylon as a religious system and seems to emphasize the religious history of the city. Chapter 18 explains Babylon's economic influence and places emphasis on the global economic influence that impact the nations and control many religious and economic decisions. Babel was an early self-built Nimrod after the flood. So Genesis chapter 10, verse 8 through 10 and chapter 11, verses 1 to 9. It was the first global form of government with one language, one religion, and one economic system. When God restored the famous Tower of Babel, the people's single language was divided, dispersing them to join their own language group. Hundreds of years later, King Nebuchadnezzar constructed a massive city called Babylon, established a major world empire. The Babylonians were the first to invade Israel, destroying Jerusalem and the temple, and carrying the golden sacred treasure back to Babylon, leading Jews in chains into captivity for 70 years. See Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 11. Babylon was still in existence in Christ's day, as indicated by Peter writing to the church in Babylon. See 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 13. During the Roman period, it was common to veil the name Rome with the name Babylon. Scholars note that both the Babylon and the Romans destroyed the Jewish temple, seized the golden treasure, and took the Jews captive as slaves. Finally, both empires destroyed the temple on the same day of the week, the same day of the Jewish calendar, the 9th of Av. When John saw the vision, the Rome's destruction, the Lord hid the name of the city in the symbol of a harlot rather than a beast. See Romans chapter 17, verse 1 to 6, 18, chapter 18, verse 18. John openly declared the destruction of Rome, he could have been charged with politics, threat, and kill, causing the book of Revelation to be burned and never made available to the church. The legend of Yerubbabel. It's also interesting to point out how Europe received its name, comparing the pearl of the woman riding the beast with the legend of Yerubbabel. In the ancient Greek mythology, Zeus, Jupiter, was considered the father of God, who disguised himself as a bull. After seeing a female named Yerubbabel, he took her to a beach and raped her, resulting in the conception of her son, named Minos. In mythology, Yerubbabel was considered a female goddess that rode on a bull with large crescent horns. Today, in front of the European Union Parliament building in Brussels, Belgium, there is a large bronze statue of Yerubbabel holding on to the horn of a bull, who is said to be Zeus. The emblem was also imprinted on certain European Union coins. The legend of Yerubbabel was known among the Greeks and Romans, and leaders may have critically understood the imagery of prostitute riding on a beast with 10 horns. The future king of the beast may be somehow linked with Europe, as the name Europe comes from the name Yerubbabel. It is possible that the nation in Europe will huge influence for the first 42 months of tribulation, as there is a seventh empire that continues a short space. Revelation chapter 17, verse 10. This is evident when observing the dream of Nebuchadnezzar's metallic image. The two legs of iron are the western Rome and the eastern Constantinople, the region of the Roman Empire. The two legs have 2 feet and 10 toes. Since the legs are interpreted as the Roman Empire division into the east and west, then the 2 feet are also east and west, are representing nations in the east and the western part of Europe and Middle East. Eventually, 10 nations with 10 ruling kings were emerged, 5 from the east and 5 from the west. All of the east-west Roman division. This will include enterprise armies which will organize outnumbers Islamic nation. I believe the beast kingdom is Islamic and the women represented Rome, whose influence had awakened Europe and parts of the Middle East for centuries. The Roman hierarchy will at some point link with the beast system, But the 10 kings under the beast will eventually totally destroy Rome in 1 hour. Revelation chapter 18, verse 10, 17, and 19. And there is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains on which the woman sat. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. When he cometh, he must continue a short place. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are the 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called, chosen, and faithful. The 7 heads on the beast has a dual meaning. They represent the 7 mountains on which the woman, the city, is sitting. They represent 7 kings or 7 prophetic empires, 5 former, 1 in John's time, and 1 to come. The five fallen empires that were past were Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Media, Persia, and Greece. The kingdom that is existing John was Rome. The empire that comes, 7, is believed to be a reformation of the Roman Empire in Europe. They will control a global foreign government during the first 42 months of the tribulation. It will continue a short space, verse 8 and 10. When the 10 kings merge their kingdoms with the Antichrist, he will organize the 8th empire, which will be the founding kingdom on earth before Christ returns to rule as king. The 10 kings give their kingdom to the beast in 1 hour. Possible after they see the mystery Babylon, Rome, destroyed in 1 hour, and a great fear seized them. See Revelation chapter 18, verse 10 and 17. As they war against Israel and Jewish remnant, along with slaying those who have turned to Christ, they will in reality be warned against Christ himself, the Lamb and his army. The called, chosen faithful will overcome the beast and his king. And he said unto me, the wonders which thou sawest, where the whore said, are people and multitudes and nations and tongues. The waters can be a metaphor for many nations, as in Israel chapter 17, verse 12 and 13, where the nations are decided as many waters making noise like the sea. Many prophetic nations, including Israel, had coastal areas of seawater. Romans has both a shipping port and large rivers leading into the city. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, and to the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is the great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Under the approval of the Ten Kings, the city of Rome is wiped out in 1 hour. Revelation chapter 18, verse 10, 17, and 19. No day in John's day, Rome was built of marble, stone, and wood, and had never been destroyed in 1 hour. When they were born Rome, the 14th section of the city took 6 days to burn. This sudden destruction, see 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 8, could be the result of a nuclear detonation that completely destroyed the city in 1 hour. Notice how that God is scripture on the event. He is the one who placed in the hearts of these 10 kings the desire to destroy the harlot, the city, thus fulfilling his will. Okay, so this is the end, and I will see you next month for another week of prophetic conference. Bye bye, and until next month. Not next year, but next month. Bye bye until next month.